This is xBow. It's a startup that runs an autonomous AI backend to perform hacking. And recently it ranked #1 on HackerOne, which is the most renowned bug bounty platform in the world. And it just compete. It left your top human hackers in the dust. And this is not some sci-fi or a future prediction. This is happening right now as we speak, and it proves that penetration testing, red teaming, bug bounty space as we know them today are already changed. And as they say, the chessboard is shifted, and here is exactly how we prepare for it. But first, you might be asking, who is this guy? So a bit about me. My name is Tanzeel. I currently work as a cloud security architect in the financial sector. And before this, I was a penetration tester for global financial institutions like Goldman Sachs and Amazon. But here is a bit of twist about me. I didn't study computer science or cybersecurity or anything like that. I actually did law, and I used to be a lawyer. But I transitioned to cybersecurity during the peak of COVID lockdown. At that point, I saw a big change happening, that cyberspace was becoming the new main theater of global competition. I think I can say that I was correct, because this has been manifested so blatantly and clearly, and we can see it and experience it right now. So, I went from asking what is a shell to professional hacking. So because I taught myself to spot the risk and value. So these two things, the risk and value, and if you can spot them and convey them, I think it just makes a big difference. So right now, I see a major shift happening again, only this time it is just much faster. So coming back to the main point, how do we survive this massive change? First, we have to understand the economy of hacking. Why companies pay for pen testing, how much they pay for it. The more we understand the industry, more we understand the economy of this industry, we can better position ourselves. Clearly, the industry is moving away from the annual compliance checkbook. Yes, there is going to be some sort of pen test, but essentially we're seeing the shift away from the annual compliance checkbook sort of work. And we are pivoting more from point-in-time testing to what they call like continuous validation, or more precisely, continuous threat exposure management, aka the CTEM. Gartner predicted this a couple of years back, and now seems like the trend is there, and we can see that, and regulators are already enforcing it. We have these new regulations, and one of them is like DORA. It's a Digital Operational Resilience Act. It is fully enforceable in the EU as of January 2025, and it mandates threat-led penetration testing. It forces banks to perform purple teaming, where a red team works with a blue team based on live threat intelligence, not just generic list or criteria or checklist of attacks as a normal penetration test is like. Nobody pays us essentially to hack because it's kind of cool. They pay us because they want to solve a business problem. They are forced. They pay us because regulations and laws compel them to avoid business risk, which is essentially posed by cyber criminals. So that is a very simple explanation of how the economy of this industry works. Regulations are the boring part, and we all know that. The scary part is agentic penetration testing, or AI pen testing, or whatever they are calling right now. Something to do with AI. But the point is, like, the way they are getting better is the concerning part. That heralds some sort of change happening, or we are in the middle of the massive change in this industry. So look at startups like xBow. Aren't just using ChatGPT to write some phishing emails. They're autonomous agents. They can reason, they adapt, they chain vulnerabilities together, and unlike you and me, they don't sleep. They don't take coffee breaks. They scale infinitely. The days of the easy bugs are gone. AI will eat those low-hanging fruits up in seconds. So if your entire skill set is finding simple bugs or the missing headers, there is some trouble. We all know how the Pentest report is written, and there is always some missing headers. We need to understand the business is looking more value than this. So the point I'm trying to make here is, do you want to compete with a bot that costs pennies and can do this job in a much more efficient way? Or do you want to do the high-level strategy that companies pay a premium for? So if you want to survive, I'll give you my 3 strategies. Number 1, frame the perception. So what is perception means here? Essentially, what people think about you, what community think about you. When people search you on Google, what are they going to find about you? What is your perception in this industry? That's kind of thing we have to think about. In this new world, a resume is not enough. You need a tangible proof. Certifications are good, but they are just baseline. So if I'm in the hiring panel, I would like to see a code on the GitHub. I want to see the tools you have built. I want to see you collaborating with other humans. Somebody else in the community can vouch out for you. And it doesn't matter if you've used AI to build the tools. It rather shows you have the ability to build something and leverage the technology. If you're publishing blog, which is good, please do not publish AI slops. If I read a blog post, it sounds like a generic ChatGPT summary, the author loses credibility instantly. So take this as a principle or a rule. You will thank me later, that the rule is, remember, offload execution to AI, not thinking. So I'll repeat that again. Offload execution to AI, not thinking. You will go a long way if you follow this rule. Number 2, develop a business perspective. Being in the field of technology doesn't mean that you only need to be a techie. You need to understand why a company pays for a penetration test. They aren't paying for hack. They are paying to solve a business problem. When you find a vulnerability, it means nothing to them. They only care when they understand the business risk caused by that vulnerability. So don't just report the technical bugs. Calculate the dollar value, or if you can convey some sort of value loss, and you can speak the language of business and risk, and you can do the hacking and leverage the AI vulnerability on the top of that. So it's a combination. So you probably are indispensable for some time. Yeah, for some time, because obviously we know there's going to be another technological shift and we don't know. So, but essentially for now, it will take you out of the crowd essentially. Number 3, target the frontier. So we are in the middle of the massive change. We cannot afford to be blind to the horizon. We need to know what is happening at the frontier and how technology is changing and what new thing is coming. For example, you should have some idea what is a projected Q day, And if you don't know, Q day is the moment in the future when a quantum computing break today's encryption. So like TLS, PKI infrastructure, these kind of encryption would be redundant then. We should ideally be shifted to quantum resistant algorithms or cryptography. So, this is just one example. But now we all hear about AI. So we need to know that what these new AI model can actually do. So keep your eyes open on the horizon so you don't get hit by the bus you didn't see coming. And build deep skill set. I can't stress this more. General knowledge alone won't save you. If you're just starting out, build a strong foundation is just critical. I can't stress this more again, I'm saying that, but it's definitely critical. You certainly cannot build a skyscraper on quicksand. But once you have the basis, you have the breadth of the areas of AI, network, web app, cloud computing, IM. So these kind of foundational topics or domains, then go deep. Pick one area, whether it's AI security or cloud security or zero trust, depends on what intrigues you, where are your interests, and also it is going to be relevant. So if you're going to study or research in the area which is not going to be relevant in the future, then obviously you might not a good output or ROI of your research or development. So focus something that is going to be relevant in the future, and an access of something it interests you as well. The idea is don't try to be average at everything, but be world class at one thing. Because if you try to be a generalist, let me tell you the hard truth: an LLM is already a better generalist than you will ever be, and they're already getting better. So the final point is the tools are changing, but the need for human insight is not going away. It's just moving up the ladder. So you better start climbing. That's it for me. Let me know if you agree with me or you disagree.